Author of the new book, The Damned of Petersburg. Ralph, your thoughts as this developing story, we're getting more and more information.
Well, the situation is indeed murky. We won't know until tomorrow morning at the earliest who's really winning or who has won. Both sides are trying to spin it. But the macro picture is very, very clear. This coup is Turkey's last chance to avoid becoming an authoritarian Islamic regime, if not an outright Islamist dictatorship. And we should make no mistake, the people staging this coup are the good guys. It sounds paradoxical, but they're the ones on the side of constitutional democracy. President Erdogan has been dismantling the secular constitution, the secular legacy of Ataturk, packing the courts, packing the legislature, packing the upper ranks of the military, all with Islamists. He is not our friend. He is not Turkey's friend. And if this coup fails, you will see a crackdown, and it'll be the excuse to eliminate the last vestiges of secularism. And so, at any rate, this is not a banana republic military trying to take power for the sake of taking power. They are trying to save their country. And the president, our president, by coming out and saying, oh, we have to support the democratically elected government. Erdogan's government is not democratically elected the way we know it. He has banned opposition political parties. He's banned opposition politicians. He's staged elections so they will benefit him. So again, I think Washington, as usual, Obamacare has got it wrong. The coup, God bless the people trying to save Turkey, a country for which I have great affection, but right now it doesn't look good.
You know, Ralph, I talked to a few experts tonight, and Erdogan controls the police, the intelligence forces. He did a purge of the army there 3 years ago, but since then, many in the army really got upset at him because he was leaving secular, as you mentioned, going towards Islamic model of government, and also turning a blind eye to terrorists going through Turkey into Syria. Is this the result of going too far towards that Islamic model of government, and is this the pushback that we're seeing?
Precisely. And he not only allowed foreign fighters to go through to join ISIS and Jabhat al-Nusra, he actively supported some of the radical elements within Turkey. He didn't like ISIS very much because they weren't his radicals. But this guy, Erdogan, is Muslim Brotherhood. And that's another reason, you know, our President Obama mistakenly believes that the Muslim Brotherhood is a force for moderation in the Middle East. So, of course, he opposed the al-Sisi takeover in Egypt that supplanted the Muslim Brotherhood government. The Muslim Brotherhood is not moderate. They are fundamentalists. They're not as bad as ISIS, but they're not good news. So, yes, this is a reaction to Erdogan purposely and methodically dismantling the secular legacy of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, who was indeed one of the great men of the 20th century, but not an Islamist. He closed down the caliphate. He closed the madrasas. He tried desperately to turn Turkey into a modern country, and the military has always been the guarantor of the secular constitution.
Quickly, Ralph, I want to ask you about the president's statement and the statement coming out of the White House, which is supporting the democratically elected government of Erdogan. Is this already kind of boxing President Obama in, much like he did with early statements in Egypt when there was an uprising there?
Yeah, it appears to be. Now, again, we don't know who's going to emerge the winner by tomorrow morning or tomorrow midday. But to me, he should have just kept his mouth shut. Because the people staging this coup are on our side. They're against the Islamist fundamentalists and extremists. They're for democracy. They're for a secular constitution. But President Obama romanticizes Islam. He's somehow talked himself into believing that Erdogan is our ally and friend, where he has been insidious and pernicious, undercutting our interests. He only supports us when it benefits his interest in his Islamization program. So I think, my God, this is so sad, Brett, because Turkey is a great country. It's a fascinating, rich country with a great history, and we're watching it be dismantled by an Islamist fundamentalist authoritarian president, and our president is taking his side.
It's hard to overstate the importance of this geopolitically. Ralph, stay with us if you would. With us now for more on this Turkish coup attempt is former State Department official David Tafuri. He was on his way to Turkey. He's in Beirut, Lebanon.